me, keep a 20 on me, case emergency. Ain't no cap in my rap. Really, I know it's the truck. More profit mean extra. Emerald white off of the pressure. That cereal milk smoking right. But that Obama rant some special. Kansas City, I'm a chief. Shout out to K5 on this one. Country thinking I was hustling. I always had it on me. Booming like OJ the juice. Till a nigga told on me. From now on, it's relentless. Ain't no love, we ain't friendly. If she want me on him. No the law, she get the business. No the law, still the motto. Empire.
Hello. Welcome in. This is Birds of the Feather Podcast with your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And this is episode 71. It's either 70 or 71. Do not judge me. But the actual name of this pod is Stolen Win. Because the Steelers came in and they stole a win from us. I ain't gonna lie to you. There is no world in which I thought we were going to lose to the Justin Field-led Steelers this past Sunday until I saw it happen. So, quick recap. The Steelers came in. They won 18-10 off 6 field goals. Came into the Mercedes-Benz, took a hard. Justin Fields, 156, no picks, no touchdowns. Kirk, 155, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. We had various inputs from the running back. Not a lot going on in the passing game, and our defense held up consistently throughout the game, but our offense was completely shut down by the Steelers. This was a disheartening loss. I was really frustrated by the events leading up to the game, what I saw transpire in the game, and then a lot of the commentary after. But Taj, holla, what you think, bro?
So, I guess like there's two big issues I got with the game, and like as I went back and watched it, it kind of fell more so to. It's still two issues, but one is significantly bigger than the other. So, we had all of this hype around the offense, how we were gonna be one of the top 10, maybe even top 5 offenses in the NFL, which is still on the table. One bad week don't derail everything. But like Zach Robinson, until he earns that, he is Zachary Ross Robinson. I ain't calling you by Zach until you earn that. So Zachary Ross Robinson came from the McVay tree, and people just automatically assumed that, he's from McVay, he's going to put together a great offense. But it seemed like everyone completely ignored. And, it was in the back of my mind, but, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But I feel like people completely ignored the fact that this man has never called plays in the game before. So there was going to be an adjustment period. And, again, and there's another thing. Well, that's very small. It's really a non-issue, but I just like to see your full offense actually play in the preseason. I feel like if your starters are, get hit for a little bit in a preseason game before they go play the top 3 defense in the NFL, maybe it doesn't look that bad.
Before we go any further, we gotta stop we gotta sit right there for a little second. We gotta sit with you. I ain't trying to mess up your groove, but we do gotta sit there. Because you and I both talked about this and discussed this. Who you're starting the season playing against dictates whether or not you need to play your guys in the preseason. Like you said, the Steelers consistently, at worst, are a top 5 defense. This is the first time your guys are actually getting hit, and you want that to be in game. Then when you look at some of the issues that you were having in pass pro, in your motion-based offense, a lot of it had to do with timing and rep, which doesn't happen mocking it in practice. Like that part, I completely agree with you on, and it was really, really frustrating, especially considering all their messaging around, our guys are going to be ready for the season. We're going to go ahead, hold them out. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to really play our guys in the preseason, blah, blah, blah. But that part right there, super frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. So this is like, You got the preseason. Like I wish the starters would have played more because yeah, you need to be hit before you go play against a defense like that because um you're gonna get rushed, and obviously Kirk was rushed quite a bit in that game. Now Zachary Ross had already spoke on this in his presser about the lack of play action, and he said that there were calls just sometimes that got changed at the line. I'm not so sure if I believe that or not, but I'm gonna take his word. Um, so and then the plan for dealing with TJ Watt seemed like a non-plan at all because
Okay. Okay.
because
You ready to get into that one? We ready to get into that one? All right.
give me a minute because it's like it kind of almost felt like Zachary was ignorant to the personnel he had the way he called the game
Okay. Okay. So look, so
because
for y'all people know this real ball knower knowledge going on right here, bruh. This real ball knowledge that's going on. Because some of y'all think that we just lined up and got our ass beat. That's not what happened. That's not what happened, people. We didn't just roll out there and get beat. That's not the reason that like football fans are looking at it like, bro, what they doing down there in Atlanta, dog? We looked incompetent. It's not about a win or a loss. We as an offensive unit that's supposed to be the strength of the team looked incompetent. You understand what I'm saying there?
because like if Zach Robinson would have did at least 2 plays worth of film study, he would have seen that Caleb McGarry sucked against beat rushers. Yet you isolated him and then chipped him with your worst blocking tight end.
ISO. ISO.
Like
on the island, bro.
So in theory, like there was a couple of good ideas in theory, like
it was hit him with the hezzy. Like, bro, it's weird.
yeah, so, like in theory there was a couple of good ideas, but with like lining Pitts up at tight end and having TJ widen out. But if you're gonna do that, Pitts doesn't need to be that tight end. It needs to be Warner, the guy that you paid to block.
To be a blocking tight end.
Yeah, because if you look back,
Pitts in keeps a receiving option out of the passing tree,
yeah,
and you don't really gain that much as a blocker.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I will give them a little credit because it looked like they tried to keep Pitts out of the run plays for the most part. Like wherever he was, they tried to run the opposite way. Obviously, you can't do that all the time, so you do have to run behind them sometimes, or you create very disadvantageous tendencies.
Are we gonna talk about who we ran and who we ran with? Because that's a whole nother argument right there.
What do you mean?
So 90% of our inside zones were Bijan. Algier had 3 carries. And then like that to me made absolutely no sense when Bijan can run inside. Obviously, he's a complete back. I'm not taking that away from him. But like his tendency and like his advantage is getting to the edge and using his speed, right? So like those long stretch plays. And like the part that frustrates me is we have a road grading type offensive line that doesn't operate well moving to the edge, apparently, right? Which is fine.
That's actually the strength of our all line because they're fairly athletic. They're designed for that. That's what they ran all last years for Arthur Smith.
What I love under Arthur Smith is that you niggas move well from side to side, but y'all didn't seem like y'all could do it this game. That's cool. That's cool. You were getting the hits. You were getting the hits inside, and you didn't bring in your battering ram back to deliver those hits against a physical defense. That's the part where I talk about moving incompetent.
The run game was fine. It was predictable, but I don't like because they were running stretches. It's just it looks different because the play calls were relatively the same. They were running outside zone. It's just now y'all might give me a little flack for this, but I think Okay, Bijan is a more talented running back, but I think Algier is a better running back, and more so the new is in the
Was
new
he
like
better?
vision, I'm not saying like Bijan is clearly more talented, but I think Algier is more nuanced in the position because you could give them the same run, right? Bijan, since he knows he's more athletic, he's like, oh, well, there's a hole right here, but I'm Bijan, I can get out here, so he'll do that. Tyler knows his limitations, so he's like, I'm just gonna take this hole and go. That's why the runs look a little different because he's much more decisive because he can't do what Bijan can.
I
And
mean,
I
that's true.
think,
The gift of talent can bite you. I give you that.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I mean. So he's not better, but he's definitely more nuanced in the in just getting and knowing his limitations. So the plays were the same, I believe. But and that combined when you got a smart player like T.J. Watt, there was nothing to make him pay for playing overly aggressive because
No.
there's plenty of times where we would run that same stretch play to the left, and TJ would come screaming down without no fear of anything. He's like, oh, they're not going to call a play action. They ain't called one all game, so I'm about to just follow this running back and make the play, which he did on numerous occasions. So that part I will call incompetent because, like, where's your plan for trying to throw off this top tier defensive player? Because I'm not even going to consider just an effort. He's a top tier defensive player because he just makes plays. Um,
And it wasn't
given,
just
I mean,
like you were not going to disrespect him calling him an effort player. He's not just an effort guy. He's out there literally blowing up your whole offensive game plan consistently. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a Falcons fan. That wasn't no false start. He just got off on the ball. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no, in live time I thought it was, but then watching it back, I'm like, oh no, man, he timed that stuff perfect. So that goes back to incompetence on Kirk.
Yeah,
Switch up the timing of your cadence because it's like your tendencies because they said something about TJ picked up on the Kirk bowed, nods his head and hikes the ball right after that. So he just timed it.
yeah.
You can't do that with those type of players.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I didn't see that for myself, but that's what I've heard. So if I'm all
I'm a
forgiven.
that looked like he had it. He had it. He timed it perfect. Because like I'm a Falcons fan, but I'm a defensive player. You know what I'm saying? And like you can look at the ball, but if you look at the ball, you're always going to be late. And usually you look at the ball when like it's a really, really loud environment. And like not shitting on our fans, you know what I'm saying? But like it was a lot of Steelers fans there. There was a lot of Steelers fans. You know what I'm saying? So like
I mean, but the Steelers are also one of those teams that travel extremely well.
they do. They
Because
do.
like
So it's not
because the thing is like you gotta think about it like this, right? The Steelers found out that we played week one the same time we did. It's all about who
which
buys
is
the ticket
true.
the fastest at that point.
You had more than enough time. So like I'm saying, I'm not piling on our fans. But I'm saying like in that situation as a defensive player, I don't have to look at the ball. I can check things like I can hear things like cadences. I can notice things like I can look at the quarterback, and if I picked up on that tendency, I can act on it. You know what I'm saying? Rather than having to like look down the line to then time and go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which, you know, a lot of our players are gonna have to do this week in Philly. But that's like a little trick of the trade. That's why you see pass rushes tend to slow down a little bit on the road as opposed to home. Just like, you know, that stuff you see. But TJ, boy, he had a game. He had a
Yeah.
game, dog.
Now
Multiple tackles.
but like that might have been one of the more impressive defensive performances like I've seen like live. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was like, okay, he's good. I get it. I get it.
Because what was it? He had multiple tackles for loss. He had one sack, one fumble recovery, and he was
He
just
got robbed
causing.
too,
Yeah, he
yeah.
really did. He really did. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna lie. But we got robbed too. We got robbed on that fourth down. We got robbed on that fourth down. They gave him a first down.
No, he got the first round.
He didn't get the first down, bro. You
He got it,
texted me
bro.
at PS2. He didn't get that first down, dog. He didn't. I was sitting there. I was like, he
Like
didn't get it.
I went back.
And
I
then
went
we
back
and
and watched it. He got it.
man.
We got to tackle better, but he got it.
All right. So for me, right, a couple points that I found really disheartening. Not even disheartening, just the issues that I had in the game. The sacrilegious. Yeah, three things really stuck out to me. The sacrilegious amount of motion. Every single play. And I listened to I took your advice, you know what I'm saying, as to be more informed, not just sitting around quitting. I listened to his press conference after the fact. And he did kind of throw Kirk under the bus, saying that like some of these calls were changed at the line and some of these motions weren't how did he phrase it? Basically, he was saying like some of these motions weren't required. You know what I'm saying? And
Well,
that to
I
me,
don't think about time correctly.
yeah. But that to me sounded like he was basically saying, boy, Kirk got up there and started freestyling. All I did was drop the beat. He started just saying he went Kanye on me. You know what I'm saying? Don't get that man a mic. Like that's what it sounded like. But like just the egregious amount of motion, right? That was totally from a football viewer standpoint, was just like, bro, that's unnecessary. Especially with the play calls that y'all were making. Just the motion was unnecessary, right? And it was almost
Well,
every single play.
I mean, I understand emotion. I don't have an issue with it because, like, given like when you watch the Rams, there's a whole lot of emotion. When you watch Kyle Shanahan, there's a whole lot of emotion. Like, there's going to be emotion on every. Even Arthur Smith had emotion just about on every play. He didn't have the variety of emotions to where you got someone running around loop de loop and all of this. He didn't have all of that, but there's purpose for those motions. It's just sometimes it just feels like you couldn't find the simpler way to get from point A to point B. Like
Sometimes football is
but
just a game
but
of big people versus big
but,
people moving yards. That's sometimes
but
all it
sometimes a
is.
lot of these motions are just coverage indicators. Sometimes it's like all right, if you when I say you're on the motion, if the dude
Which are,
follows you, keep going. If he don't, double back.
which okay, so that's cool, right? So that's cool. But then why are you running Ray McLeod? Like you said, JJ screaming down. You're not running Ray to do a crack block on JJ, and you're running a stretch to that side. That doesn't make sense. That's a waste of motion. And
Okay,
I get the concept and idea of making the plays look the same off the sense of like you would run that action and then that would be a man or zone indicator and then you could play action or pass off of that. But you had a seriously low amount of play action. That's what I'm
not
saying. The play
actually.
call did not match up with the motion. And that to me is just one of those things where it's like you're just moving to move. It's just stupid.
I'm gonna disagree with that one, but I'm gonna respect your opinion on it.
That's once again, that's just me. That's just me. The amount of and then how he tried to explain it in the conference made it sound like as a coach you ain't taking no culpability in the matter. Kirk just went up there and started freestyle. That's really how he
Yeah,
tried to make it sound.
that's not
I
flying.
didn't. Huh?
Yeah, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
But
Second,
like due to that being his first game calling, I'm going to give him grace just because that was his first game calling, and knowing that your quarterback ain't played since week 8 of last year because he's coming off an Achilles. Um, so I don't know why I had to think it was a guy did. Hey, let's get him some live reps because like I don't give a Raheem. If you ever see this, I love you. I love you, man. You're one of my favorite coaches, personality wise. You ain't earned it on the field yet, but hey, it's fine. Um, I'm gonna need you to get your head out your ass with the preseason stuff. Like Kirk told you he wanted to play.
let him play.
Get these man just because you're talking about what we seen in practice or on comfortable practice. Practice is fine, but practice and live snaps do not equate to each other. The speed is way different
So that's going.
because
So that's
in
going.
practice you
That's
can't hit.
yeah.
These
So
niggas
that's
don't
going.
know you.
That's going to get to my third point. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. That's going to get to my third point. I need that in a second. Don't get me wrong. I need that in a second. So the second one, our defense balled completely out. Our defense balled completely out. We allowed 18 points. 3 of those field goals, so it was all 6 field goals. 3 of those field goals were from 50 plus. 2 of them were from 53 plus. That is a good freaking defense, bro. That's a good kicker.
Considering they
That's
had
a
drop
good.
steals on 3 of them because there was 2 picks and a fumble.
Yes. 2 picks and a fumble. You had 3 turnovers. And 9 times out of 10, if you lose the turnover battle, if you lose the turnover battle by 1 plus, I think you're because like if all games start 50-50, if you lose the turnover battle 1 to 0 or 1 plus or whatnot, like you move down to like 40 something percent. If it's 2 plus, you're like 35%. If it's 3 or more, you're down to like 10%. So like very rarely do you win a game with 3 turnovers and the other team have none. Right? No turnovers
So
on
the fact that
downs.
we had 3 lost by possession is a miracle.
Is crazy work. It's crazy work in the general mindset of it. So like our defense kept us in the game. Our defense played legit. Our safeties, I'm on record for this right now, will be a top 3 tandem in the league this year. Our safeties will be a top 3 tandem in the league this year. Jesse and Justin played perfectly off of each other, right? And it doesn't feel good saying anything good came out of a loss. Those guys playing together in the secondary. AJ, he got caught up in a couple things with Pickens. Pickens that dude a little bit. I ain't gonna cap to you. Pickens that dude a little bit. He made like some really good catches. I ain't finna catch. You said what?
He might be better than Drake London.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna say it,
and
but
the thing is, I got a friend that's a Phillies fan, and I will never admit that to him. So I pray he don't watch this episode.
hey, it's a reason they were comfortable letting Deontay Johnson go. There's a reason they were comfortable. The Steelers have a great track record of developing and recognizing, developing, and understanding the wide receiver position. They saw Deontay, they saw George, and they said, we're going to pick one. And so you see who they got. I'm just saying he might be that dude. He had a good day. I don't think that was a like requiem on AJ at all. I still think that he had a pretty decent day out there, right? What did George? George went 6 for 85, and what 2 of those came on like kind of get up and run catches. You know what I'm saying? Our defense really, really stifled him. Now, granted, Fields is not a top of the line quarterback, right? And maybe he wasn't able to exploit everything to our defense. I actually think I remember texting you. I think Arthur Smith called a pretty good game in terms of what he did for. We can get into that one before I get to the third.
So I seen a clip of I read something from Arthur Smith's interview, and how he said that they attacked the outside by design because he wanted to keep Jesse Bates out of the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So that says a lot about 2 things. One, just a great deal of respect for Jesse, which he deserves. 2, he don't really think too highly of AJ if that's.
I don't think that's a think too highly of AJ. I think that's a like at one point in time, like you had Ray Lewis and Ed Reed on the same field, right? To say I'm going to go at the linebackers doesn't mean that you don't respect Ray Lewis. It just means you kind of fear Ed Reed more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not comparing either one of them to like top of the line players, but that's just like I don't disrespect one player. It's just like I'm picking my poison. It's not good either way, but I have a somewhat better chance of succeeding putting Ray Lewis in coverage than I do trying to get Ed Reed to be out of position in coverage. You know what I'm saying? So conversely, like I have a better chance focusing on bootlegs and comebacks against AJ than I do deep crossing routes against.
It wasn't even bootlegs. It was just, hey, One on one.
But I'm
When
saying, like,
what you said, ball up top.
ball up top. You feel me? Like, I don't necessarily feel like that's like a anything on AJ. I just think there's like, if I'm picking my poison, that's where I'd rather go. You know what I'm saying? And it speaks to something that I think me and you was like really, really frustrated with. And I know a lot of Falcons fans were frustrated with over the course of the past 3 years. Arthur Smith can call a good game. He can call an offense. I think him having to be responsible for a whole team is the
Oh, you know,
issue.
yeah, for sure, yeah, yeah.
If
No,
he's
that
just
that I 100% agree with.
if he is just focused on offense, he can tailor make a good game plan to attack an opposing defense.
Yeah,
Right? Because like
that's
this isn't
definitely
a lot of his
yeah,
personnel is the same, but this isn't his defense from last year. You know what I'm saying? Like they're a new defense. They're running different. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to recognize, attack, and put his team in good positions. Now Fields did miss some throws. Field missed some throws. They had some 3-and-outs that shouldn't have been 3-and-outs, and they probably could have scored a couple more touchdowns. It was a good mix of our defense stepping up and just Fields' incapability. But it doesn't change the fact that like Arthur Smith called a good game.
for sure. Mm. It after hearing the insight, I've warmed up to it a little bit because like I don't have like no beef with him as a play caller because I think I share the same sentiment you do. As a play caller, he's fine, but it's just everyone's not meant to handle the full weight of being a head coach.
Yes. Like the full responsibility. Like some guys is meant to be number 2, and that's okay. Like that's
Yeah,
okay.
perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. Somebody got to be in the end. Everybody can't be a chief.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Taj is the leader of the show. I just do all the admin work. You know what I'm saying? I get my little crumbs off the back end. You know what I'm saying? He really be the Joe Budden of this podcast. I be sitting around, hey, I'm Rory and Mal. 2-1. You feel me? Like I just but no, in all truth, man. In all truth, like I really respected the game plan that he called. Because one of the things, and going back to the play call and making us seem incompetent, is that I felt like the offense, the play calls that he was making offensively highlighted the personnel that he had and understood the limitations of his players, which is why our offensive line, which was our beacon of shining hope last year, looked so bad, is because, like you said, we're putting McGarry on an island. Me and you sitting on a couch, no. McGarry is not blocking TJ Watt one-on-one. That's not happening. One of the most crucial plays of the game that was so frustrating to me is we had Bijan in blocking TJ. TJ came unblocked, and Bijan was blocking him. What? What are we doing? What are we doing? Right? Now to my third point. And this is the one that's gonna get a lot of traction and whatnot. For all those people, right? For all those people who are like conspiracy theories online. Oh, Kirk's stance is different, right? And that's like a harbinger of his Achilles still being messed up. Or like Kirk is not pushing off when he's like backpedaling and whatnot. I want to make something like extremely abundantly clear. If Kirk Cousins is not healthy after tearing his Achilles in week 8 of last year, and we signed him to a $180 million contract, our GM is losing his job. I want to make that perfectly clear. Our GM and our medical staff are losing their jobs. That it's done. It's over with. If that is the case, that Kirk is still not healthy when he was signed to that and now he's playing, especially the way the salary cap is set up, which makes him uncuttable for 2 years. Like you maybe can cut him next year, but he's definitely uncuttable for this year. If that is the case, our medical staff and our GM are losing their jobs. All right, that is my third point because what I feel like is happening are people trying to make excuses over what we've seen for the past 3 years now post Matt Ryan, which is bad quarterback play. And what Kirk put on tape was bad quarterback play. And we just need to call that what it is.
Yeah.
16 to 26, 150 touchdown and the 2 picks is bad quarterback play. And then the picks were egregious.
Yeah, no, they were, but like I said, week one, I'm willing to give him grace on week one just because, again, he ain't played since week 8 of last year. He ain't been hit since week 8 of last year. He ain't seen the defense live since week 8 of last year. So coming into a game with a dominant pass rush in pass blocking isn't your O-line strength. Yeah, you might be rushed on a couple throws because even throw that you might not, because like he was saying ghost, because you don't know how much time you got. Because McGarry ain't nothing but a saloon door to TJ Watt.
Yeah, no, boy, hey, he was playing on lay back there, red cape and all, bro. Like, just
Yeah, Matador, straight up, yeah. So it's like I'm willing to give him a little grace. No interceptions, some of them, like seeing the all 22. One of them, I could kind of see what he was doing. Still shouldn't have threw it, but I think if he wasn't as rusty, maybe he could have got more. I think he was trying to layer it over there, and he just lost. There was time the ball was slipping out of his hands. So I don't. The ball slipping out of his hand ain't got nothing to do with his Achilles. So
the one he threw to Ray in the middle of the field really should have been an interception. Ray just made a crazy catch.
Not because it flipped and the ball came out like after. It was like a glitch throw. Some shit you see on Madden. Just damn, okay. Should have been a completion.
And then he almost.
So I'm gonna give him credit.
I was saying he almost had one picked on the sideline that went through the guy's hands and then Ray dropped. And I just once again, I want to give. I just want to make that like abundantly clear because I think ESPN picked up on it. I think FS1 picked up on it. And it ran on Twitter for a couple days or X, whatever. Ran on that for a couple days. I just want to make that like abundantly clear. If Kirk is signed to the contract that he is, and his Achilles is still bad, everybody losing their job. It's just a whole bunch of people getting fired. That's not what happened. All right, like that's not what happened. He went out there and he stunk the joint up. He played bad.
Yeah.
Right. No one is saying, and you fans that are saying Penix time, shut up. And I just mean that like in the nicest way possible. Just shut up. No,
I don't
like you can't play Penix right now, and I don't have the bandwidth to explain to you why we can't. We can't. You know what I'm saying? Just like we went over that.
If you understand money even in the least bit, you know why.
Yeah, like you can't. It doesn't. No, it can't happen. So like this is the team.
That happens. Someone still getting fired.
Yeah, a bunch of people are still getting fired. If Penix starts playing, all right, without Kirk being drastically injured, right? Like really, really bad. And Penix is playing, like everybody's still getting fired. So like no. But we flush it. We got all that hate off our chest. You know what I'm saying? Like we ball. Move to next week, right? So going into next week, we are playing the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly on Monday night primetime game. They are coming off a 34-29 win versus the Packers. Hurts had a monster of a game, so did AJ Brown. Saquon with 3 touchdowns. I think this is going to be a pretty good challenge.
Hurts looked that was a mixed game in my opinion from Hurts. Saquon looked awesome. AJ looked awesome. Everybody looked awesome, but Hurts. He looked fine. I mean, it was fine. It's like you get that meal. It really wasn't what you wanted. Like you probably went to your favorite drive-through restaurant, got your food, realized it wasn't what you ordered, but you already gone, so you're like, well, it's fine. That was
You know
her.
what I'm
That was
saying?
her. That was her lesson.
So y'all
But
added
it,
onions.
it,
I don't
it,
really
ain't, it
eat
ain't what
onions.
you wanted, but it was fine.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I said no pickles, but whatever, bro. Like, I ain't got time
Yeah,
to circle that. Like,
yeah. Like
it's all right.
I said no turnovers, but I mean, you did, but we still won. So I guess.
Nah, I think to me the Eagles they really did play a good game, but their big glaring weakness, that back seven don't look no better. That back seven don't look no better, bro. Like at the line now, granted they made a change at the linebacker position, right? Starting to Kobe Dean. They have two rookies in the secondary, but like, boy, they was getting torched. All the same, they was getting torched. Um, and
Okay.
I don't think that we have the exact skill positions that the Packers have. We definitely don't have the guy up top to make it go. But I don't see why we won't be able to like just take it and go and run with it against the Eagles this coming week.
Oh yeah, no, 'cause I 110% expect a better game plan from Zachary. So Zachary Ross
Has
Robinson. Yeah, I need better because this week and next week these are rough games. Probably the hardest on the schedule. We need at least one of them.
Yeah, we can't. This the crazy part is last week versus Steelers was our game to win, so that we could lose both of these and still be in a good position. This 3 game stretch, we were reasonably could go 1-2. Now we're at a point where it's like these next 2 games, we got to win one of them. We got to.
Yeah, we
You
got to.
can't be in an 0-3 hole.
Yeah, you don't want to be 0-3 going playing New Orleans. You don't want that. Because New Orleans look
So,
pretty good in week one. Given the Panthers suck, but they look good.
man, yeah, we'll get into that in the division. But yeah, no. When I think about how we're going to attack the Eagles, my main thought is air it out. Like, don't want to get too far away from Bijan running the ball and a lot of action in the backfield, but their weakness on defense is actually throwing the ball. So I feel like between Pitts, London, and it looks like Ray can be a little something. We have enough to stretch their defense out and make
Yeah, don't forget
plays
about
on the back.
Mooney.
I
I
saw
think
Moon.
Mooney's
He
going to get a
didn't.
better game.
He's got to because he didn't really do anything this past week, right?
Man, who really did anything last week?
You're not lying. I think London only had like one catch, right?
2 catches
Two
for
catch. Yeah,
15 yards. Like,
it's bad game. But once again, I think this is the type of game you kind of start making it up, make those averages look a little better. Is the fact that like we can air it out, everybody can get a little piece of this pie coming on this upcoming game, right? Interior, Jalen Carter's in the interior pass rush. Boy, that man looked good. Like he looked like a monster, bro. Like he is consistently pushing that pocket. He's disrupting the pass. He's disrupting the pass game. He's disrupting the run game. Like the Eagles, they got lucky getting him. And I love Bijan, right? Like wouldn't want to trade him, but that pick looks harder and harder every day, man. But he's looking good.
I mean, he does. He does. That kind of just added another layer to this game. Even though Raheem and Robinson weren't responsible for picking Bijan, y'all gotta make that pick look good this week.
Yeah, I definitely think Bijan has to play well. I don't think that Jalen Carter can have like a monster game and Bijan be shut down
You
for
can't
like
you can't let Jalen outshine Bijan no matter what y'all do.
nah. But once again, that wasn't this regime, right? And they can kind of hold on to that.
Yeah,
Is that we didn't make that pick. Hell, we just took Jalen Carter. I don't know, But I think that overall, when you look at it, offensively, we match up very well against them defensively. Flipping it, our defense played really, really well.
Yeah.
I felt like we did a good job stopping the run and a mobile quarterback. If we can replicate that against Philly this week with Jalen and Saquon back there, I don't see why we can't walk away with the win. I don't see why we can't walk away.
Saquon will probably be more of a challenge because, I mean, Najee's a good back, but like he ain't Saquon.
Yeah, which is fine.
Saquon probably one of the top 3 most talented running backs. So it's this game should be a game headlined by 2 dynamic running backs.
And Najee was able to get off a little bit toward the end of the game. So, like, he's bigger back, was able to wear us down. Saquon is a big guy, but he's not like a break you down power back, gonna get 25 carries in the game type thing, right? Like he's.
But you can't arm tackle him though because he's
oh, no. You gotta square him up. He's a big dude, but he's not like a break you down type of back. He's usually like a home run hitter, which is like scary in his size, but that's what he tends to do. So predictions for the game. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I actually got the Falcons losing this one. I had them losing it since the beginning of the season, right? But I had us winning last week. If you listen to the betting pod, where we're getting 7 points, I actually think we'll stay within that. I got Falcons. I got Eagles winning 27-24.
I think this is between this week and next week. I think this game is very winnable. Well, like I say, very winnable. I think this is a game that's within reach. Because the offense has to perform better. And I think the defense is going to show that they may be for real because going across the middle of the field is going to be very difficult for Jalen versus 2 safeties. So and then given the Eagles have a great O line, so this is going to be a real test to see how good this defense can really be. And based on what they showed last week, I think this defense could be a top 16 unit, maybe even better than they were last year, which was teetering top 10. Which with the safety play and AJ Terrell, when he's on, he's on, but he has his moments. I think we can split this one about field goal. Maybe like 31-28 or so.
I like it. Really giving our offense a big output, but both of us expect at least a 24 plus outing by our offense compared to last week. So definitely expect the offense to get back on track. We'll love to see it. You guys got an exciting announcement coming, in particular with this game. So for this season, guys, we are committed to putting out good content and more content for y'all. We will actually be going live after the game to give a reaction, and we'll be doing that every week going forward. So tune into the YouTube page. That word was kicking my behind, but tune into the YouTube page, BOAF Media, Birds with a Feather Media. Tune into that. Check us out. The link will be in the bio. We will be going live after the Falcons versus the Eagles to give our immediate reaction. And then, as always, tune into the podcast that will be dropping next week. It'll be dropping on Wednesday, but usually we'll be dropping Tuesday and then betting pods on Friday. All right. So next, going into in division. So right now, we got the Saints coming off just a complete shellacking of the Panthers at 1-0, 47-10. The Bucks put up a really good showing versus the Commanders, 37-20. And the Commanders, they scored late, 37-20. And then the Falcons, us, and the Panthers are at 0-1 right now. both losing to the Panthers losing to the Saints and then us losing to the Steelers, right? So like it's an AFC loss. All losses hurt, so I'm not trying to minimize it, but I'm just saying in the grand scheme, looking at the big picture, it was an AFC loss. So like we can get it back, right? But the Panthers, bro, the Bryce Young experiment might be over after 2 years. Like, not gonna lie to you. They looked absolutely just dog on trash, bro. Like no part of them looked like an NFL football team.
I mean, they did it bad. But I guess the word of the week for me is grace. I'm going to extend them grace because Bryce had a rough last season, but he's also on a brand new offense this year. He clearly doesn't know it's to his strengths, and then he's got a few new weapons. So he's got to learn. He's got to learn his, what he got going on. Got to learn how things look in live bullets. It did look bad though, but I'm not gonna bury him yet. But the ditch is being dug, but I ain't gonna bury him.
Hey, but that Orange, he said something that had me dying. He was talking about Russell Wilson. He's like, he had 1 foot in the grave and one on a banana peel. And like, that's how it's looking. That's how it's looking. But like you said, like, hey, boy, I ain't gonna throw the dirt over you, but I'm gonna let you know that like couple niggas got shovels. couple niggas got shovels. That bitch being dug. You feel me? Like,
Okay, don't dig it. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not fair, but fairs are for cotton candy and candy apples. You know what I'm saying? Like if we look what's happening as a quarterback, you usually get 2 years. And if you ain't shown me nothing in 2 years, nothing, it's over, bro. And I'm not gonna lie to you. And I thought he was better than CJ Stroud. I wasn't killing the Panthers for taking him, bro. Like I wasn't killing the Panthers for taking him. There's no world in which like he hasn't shown you anything. Like through all last year, you had maybe a little flash here and there. But there was much more games like the game that happened yesterday than there are flashes. You know what I'm saying? And like teams ain't gonna get stuck with a guy. They will just move off it. And so hey, look, if this Bryce Young thing doesn't turn around by midseason, I think they're just gonna go ahead and call it and draft another quarterback.
I very well see it possible. But yeah, so the Bryce Young thing kind of brings me to the Saints. I think the Panthers are more bad than the Saints were good.
I 100% agree. I don't think the Saints are 47 points good. I think that they got some momentum, and the Panthers weren't able to, formulate anything, and it kind of snowballed.
Yeah, because like the way I'm feeling, is that I think that I think the Bucks are the best team in the division right now.
Right now, today.
I don't know the Saints, but and the Bucks didn't really. The Commanders, rookie quarterback, new regime, new offense, all that. So it could be a little bit of the same things, but Baker Mayfield played outstanding, like
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
I mean, it's not really crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, because they won the division last year, right?
Yeah,
and then they won it with Tom Brady. Yeah, they're on like a 3-year run of winning the division.
Maybe 4, I think.
Maybe
they won it both years with Tommy.
And then last year with Baker.
So it's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. So 3-year run.
Those guys are the same. Those guys have been there. You know what I'm saying? And like when you're looking at that team, Mike Evans, completely underrated, but like a dog. Godwin, a dog. Yeah, they let Devin White go on the defense, but they still got Vita Vea. They still got your boy at safety Winfield. Like
Yeah.
that team is pretty like solidified. You Tristan Wirfs on the offensive line. Like they have guys they're paying at every position. And Baker is playing like that Cleveland year of Baker, his second year,
Yeah.
where like I don't have anybody I'm force feeding the ball to. OBJ isn't on the team. I don't have anybody I'm force feeding the ball to. I have a good mix
Evans
of
gonna get
run
his.
and. You said what?
Evans gonna get his. Like
Yeah, Evans gonna
that's the
get
Hall of
his,
Fame
but like
receiver.
Godwin gonna get his as well. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not. It doesn't look like he was forcing the ball. Now, granted, this was Washington's defense. There's still a lot, but like it's not a fluke anymore. Baker can play, and like that Deshaun Watson trade, or it's not. They weren't traded for each other, but getting rid of Baker and putting in Deshaun Watson looks worse and worse every day.
Yeah, because Baker's better than Watson.
Yeah, by far.
And if you want to have an honest conversation, maybe Bill O'Brien needs a little more respect on his name.
That sound like a little. That sound like a little Twitter thread that need to be like a little YouTube thing. Y'all tune in to listen to Taj spout his theories. You know what I'm saying? And just
I'm just saying, like he looked good with Bill O'Brien, and they're saying Bill gone.
Never
was
looked
it
good
Watson?
again.
Was it Watson that the Bill just know what to do?
Just saying.
A good play caller can cover. A good play caller can cover up a player's faults. Are you listening, Zachary? Okay.
Nah, facts. If your team is that bad, like, hey, call around them. And that's what, once again, why I said Arthur Smith, I feel like he ran a good game. So, looking forward to next week. The Saints, they got the big game this week. They're playing Dallas. I can't openly vote for the Saints, and I can't bring it in my heart to say I hope Dallas wins. So, like, end in a tie, please. Or somehow both of y'all.
I don't care for Dallas, but I hate the Saints. Like, there is no equal.
But good God, bro. Like, Dallas fans are
Break the scoreboard. Break the scoreboard. CeeDee Lamb, I want you to earn your whole paycheck.
Hey, you remember when they said we're going to try to get him the ball 10 to 15 times a game? And it sounded like they was BSing. They targeted CD on rushes or passes 11 times last game. He's going to break the record. For touches, he's going to break. Like they are force feeding that thing to him. Hey, sit at the table, eat some more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's going to break the record. The Bucks played the Lions, which is going to be a rematch of that really, really good playoff game last year. I think that's going to be a real close one. Hopefully, the Lions will give the Bucks their first loss of the season. We already talked about the fact that we're playing the Eagles, and then the Panthers are they going out west or are they coming here?
Were they playing a high school team? They going to lose to a high school team?
No. Okay. They're Chargers are traveling across the pond.
So they're still going to lose to a high school team. Okay, got you.
Yeah. The Chargers going to travel all the way over here. Honestly, if the Panthers are going to get a win, they look, because they're not going to go 0-17. They're not going to go 0-17. They're not that bad. They're not that bad. No, they're not that bad. Yeah, they're not.
I mean, no one thought the Lions were that bad, but they still went 0-16.
No, but people knew the Lions were that bad. People knew people knew the Lions and the Browns were that bad. People knew that.
Okay.
They were like the Lions, like they knew that coming in. They were like the Lions and the Bears literally may not win a game. I haven't heard anyone say the Panthers.
Name me two people on the Panthers defense. Not named Clowney.
Two people on the Panthers defense?
Mm-hmm.
You got J.C. Horn still.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got what's their tackle? It's the
the dude is out for the year? Derrick Brown, the dude is out for the year? Yeah,
Damn. Damn, yeah. Hold on. Brian Burns gone.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, it looking tough.
Dante
I ain't
Jackson.
gonna catch
Oh.
him. Yeah, ooh, wow. Okay. They gotta win one, bro. They gotta win one. They gotta win one on defense. Yeah,
Like I
hey, look, I
said,
ain't gonna cap. Yeah, that's tough. I
they
don't even
best
think JC.
they
Yeah,
their
hey,
best players out for the year.
yeah, that might be tough. I ain't gonna lie to you, that might be tough.
Because if they had Derrick
But
Brown, okay, you're cool, but Derrick Brown going and you go and the Chargers D line O line looked great last week. Joe
they
Alt
looked,
pitched a no hitter. He pitched a no hitter versus Crosby.
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. They can run the ball. They can run the ball. But I'm not overly convinced on their defense, and so the Bryce Young game showed me that he can go off and get off on anybody though. So like, we'll see, we'll see. Damn, they might lose bad. They might lose bad. But the point is, they're I gotta water the grass that feeds me. You know what I'm saying? Like tend to my own garden. Right now, we on one. We in the same boat. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? So
yeah,
like, we as a Falcons community need to come together and beat the Eagles so we can
oh yeah.
pop back up on
But
this
but but, but
division.
see but see like our garden we got mulch in there. Theirs is just sunburned.
Yeah, possibly. But guess what? Guess what? At the end of the year, you made playoffs or you didn't. So these wins count.
Yeah, that's
Let's start
facts.
stacking
That's
them.
facts.
All right, so we're pushing up against time, but I think we got a little time. We could get into it for
We just
city.
gonna do
Oh,
a little quick touch. That's it. Not too long.
yeah. City. We will talk about a very scary incident that happened. So, like as you can tell, you guys, we're recording this a little later in the week. Prayers up for Tua Tagovailoa and his family. And for anybody who saw Tua collided with Damar Hamlin late in the fourth quarter, and he was
Intentionally,
struck
two
on
players for a collision.
yeah, straight like that. And he was struck on his head. He fell to the ground instantly, crumpled up in a seized-like state, and he was ruled out for the rest of the game with a concussion. I think this is
Now,
the. Go ahead.
no, but you think it's what?
I think this is the hard part of football. I love football. I love playing football. I love being around football. Everything about football is like football is a good bit of my life, and no one wants to see anybody get injured. No one wants to see anyone get hurt. And watching that was just like it was scary, man. I still remember one of the images that's like burned in my eyes, burned in my mind is like Luke Kuechly when he was crying after getting his concussion. Right? Helmet off, just like tears flowing in his eyes. And I think like when you break an arm, you can get that stitch back together. It might click a little bit, but like you can good. You know, I got a bum shoulder, my knees are bad. And a lot of that
Not a
came from
place
playing
yet.
football. Yeah. A lot of that came from playing football. But I think just like when you hear and think about like a brain injury from playing the game, it's just like it's scary stuff.
Right.
It's scary stuff, man. And
It's
I yeah.
like that affects you getting older and the quality of your life. It's like giving. We love this sport to pieces. That's why we do this. We love it. But at the end of the day, it is just a game, and life goes on outside of it. So Tua's gonna have to have some real conversations with his family because I think he's married and I think he has two kids now.
Yeah.
If I think I seen something on Twitter saying that if he was if he was to medically retire, he still walks away with 124 million.
So there's a couple caveats to that. So we break all that down. So one, yes, Tua is married now, right? So if most of y'all remember when he had his huge concussion issues back in 2022, they were engaged early in the year. They were married by the end of the year. Um, or no. They were married at the beginning of that year. He didn't get married in season. They were married at the beginning of that year, right? and he was having those concussion issues throughout the year. They welcomed a child at the end of that year, right? And then welcomed another the following season, right? So since he started having those concussion issues, he's now become like a seasoned husband and a father. And like, as a husband and a father, I can tell you, those things will 100% change your attitude toward like extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know if this is, I want to be a vegetable for my kids long term. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it'd be. Your brain turning mush, you're a vegetable. And then when it comes to the medically retired. So if he just retires, if he chooses to retire, he would forfeit 124 million.
Yeah, it has to be a medical return.
He has to be medically deemed unfit, and he has to medically retire, and then he would still get 124 million dollars. He's got 94 coming to him, regardless. He's got 94 coming. Well, his career earnings would be 94 regardless, which means they would pay out the rest of the guarantees of this contract, medical or not. So if he chooses to retire, very, very similar to Andrew Luck, right? So like most guys, when they retire and still have guarantees left on their contract, the team does the right thing by them and pays out the guarantees, right? I can't, it was a big thing when, I forgot who it was retired, and they asked him to pay back his guarantees, right? Or they withheld, basically, they didn't ask him to pay back his guarantees. They just withheld the contract guarantees for it because it's kind of one of those gentleman agreements.
I remember that. They got Vic money back. Atlanta did.
Yeah. So Vic, obviously, but like they were able to get that back because they petitioned the PA. He went to jail. You're able to recoup some of that money. I forget who it was, but they basically withheld his guarantees from him because he retired.
Oh no, you talking about okay, no. It wasn't a retirement, but there was the dude for the running back for the Bills last year, Naheem Hines. He got hurt from like some off season stuff, and the Bills didn't honor it, or they at least weren't. But they might have but like these things ain't got to do that.
Yeah, they don't have to. It's a gentleman's agreement, basically, that they're going to pay the rest of their guarantees. I can't imagine in this situation them not paying out to his guarantees, which means he's going to walk away with 90 career earnings. He'll walk away with 94 career earnings regardless.
I respect McDaniel so much for how he's handling this.
1,000%.
Because like he's putting the player aside and focusing on the person. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all have feelings. We have things we want outside of this game. Like we play the game. We're driven to this game for a reason, but there are things outside of it that we still want to accomplish. And like McDaniel's he sounds like a coach I would love to play for if I still had the ability to play. He sounds like someone I like to play for because like he genuinely cares for his players. How many times have you ever seen a coach kiss a man on the forehead?
Yeah.
He kissed him on the forehead and said, I need you to be the quarterback for your family, so take a deep breath and I'll see you soon. That's a man that cares about the person more than the player.
Yeah. And it looked like he was genuinely happy just for him to be alive, for him to be standing up and walking. And I'm not going to lie. So bones and brains are different, right? So when you break a bone and it completely heals, it is actually harder to break again. Like you need more size of force to break it again. Now, if you fracture a bone, it is very easy to break it again, right? But like our bones are actually built once they break to come back stronger, right? Once it's mended properly. Your brain is actually the complete opposite. One brain injury makes it way easier for you to get another brain injury, right? And like, I'm not saying Tua's not tough. I'm not saying he's not tough. I actually think he's very tough. The hit was not a crazy hit.
No.
The hit was not a crazy hit. And if you're at a point to where it wasn't minimal contact, but like regular football forcing contacts are causing massive concussions to the point to where you're seizing up. You really gotta think about whether or not you should still play football. And like that's what it really boils down to. And I agree with what McDaniels is saying, is that like anybody calling him to ask to think about his future in the state that he's in right now, right after that happened and whatnot, is not really caring about the person, because his career is his career. And I 100% agree with that. So I'm not up here saying like he should retire. I'm saying that like if you're looking at all the factors involved and you think about like that was not a crazy hit. That was not a crazy hit. And it caused you a concussion in which your body seized up and you lost consciousness. Because that's the only way. Like people talk about, oh, he got his bell rung. You know, like we as and you know, we play football, we normalize.
That wasn't a brung bell. That was a no when he was home.
Yeah.
The life
Yeah. That's the thing. That's it. Like we as football players, we normalize that. We normalize that. That's he got his bell rung. Oh boy, he turned the lights out on him. Like when you medically talk about that, like he received a blow to the head and lost consciousness. That's a major concussion. That is a major concussion. And
because like the chances are is like, yeah, we saw him get off the field and walk back to the locker room, but chances are he probably don't even remember that.
Nobody was home. I promise he doesn't even remember.
He probably came to, but like, why am I in the locker room? So we got a game today?
Why's my wife here?
You okay? You good, babe? What?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you about like my scariest concussion. So, to my knowledge, I've had 2 concussions. Right, one of them was like pretty minor. It happened while we were playing. The other happened horsing around with friends, and it was a major concussion. We were playing at the bus stop. The running back for the team was playing back and forth. I turned to the side. He hit me square on. My head hit the street. Right, my head hit the street. Now, I'm going to recollect this story from other people's point of view because I don't remember it. I got up. I was woozy. I leaned on my sister. We got on the bus, and then they helped me to the nurse's office. The nurses then called my mom. She came to pick me up, and we went to the hospital where I was diagnosed with a concussion. I remember getting hitting the sidewalk or hitting the street, and then I remember waking up in the doctor's office. So like when we talk about like the lights were on but nobody was home, like your body can operate kind of on autopilot when you have a severe brain injury. All right, like Tua got up and walked off that field. That does not mean he's okay by any stretch of the imagination. By any stretch of the imagination. And so like for that to happen and you to want to rush back out there, and I get it because we love the game. Everybody love the game, bro. Love the game.
That's what we did.
It is a tough decision to make. It's a tough decision to make, and I don't think anybody will fault him for making a decision to walk away.
Yeah, you can't, because at the end of the day, life, like football, is temporary. I mean, essentially life is too, but there's more life to live after football.
Yeah. And if you just want to be honest about it, and like people don't like to hear this part, but you want to be honest about it, like he's already diminished his standard of living moving forward. Like he's already done irreparable damage to his
later years.
Like he's already screwed, right? So like when people are talking about like life after football, life outside of football, whatnot, let's make it very clear. Like post 50 years old, Tua's going to be screwed. Like right now, today, post 50 years old, Tua going to be like, when you think of boxers, you're like feel like this and can barely talk and whatnot, and they only like 45 years old. That's Tua. That's in Tua's future. That's set in stone. That already happened. What people are talking about right now is the fact that like Tua can get another concussion and he could on the field. And don't
Yeah,
know, but nobody wants that.
yeah, like that's
Nobody.
good for no. So like that,
And like,
and like too, as a father, that's like the last thing you want to see is your children. You want to see is you to be later on that field lifeless because you
not
couldn't
getting up.
walk away.
Yeah, not getting up. Not getting up.
I
And
mean, because like you made it through last season without one, but like
the crazy part is he made it through last season without one. He put on extra weight and was quote unquote learning how to fall. And it looked like it paid dividends. And then coming into this season, he lost weight. And you trying to put your shoulder down on a fourth down. Now,
that,
JJ Watt had the
no,
best take on
yeah, no,
that
it's real because
I
like when you're in the game, you're
yeah,
not thinking about none of that. You're like, I need this first down. People are like, oh, well,
yeah,
you should have got down. It's fourth down. I'm trying to spark something. I need this first down. But the thing is, yes, before the play, you know where that line is. But once the play gets started, you just like, okay, you're dropping back. So, boom. And then you automatically lose track of where you were from where you were just standing. So he wasn't aware of that he already had the first down. He was just trying to make sure he actually got it.
yeah.
And that's the caveat with this because it's like, this is a gladiator sport. Like these are the men, these are men's men. Like, so it's like, yeah, y'all could be like, oh, why did he slide? That's stupid. But like, if you ain't been in that jungle, you can't really speak on it
No.
because because the thing is, like, on that field is that's probably the truest version of Tua that anyone will know. No, and he wanted it for his team, but now he
And
has to want it more for his family.
yeah, because like if you ain't never played football, you don't know what gets said to quarterbacks when they slide. All types of dirty shit gets said to quarterbacks when they slide. You understand me? As I'm going by, boy, I lit your ass up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all types of stuff gets said to quarterback. And what JJ said was real. Had he slid and not made it, you know, like
That would have been fun
because
on him.
it's not from where you end the slide, it's from where you started. Had he
Start him.
slid and made it, everybody would have been on his behind. Oh, it's fourth down. How did he not go and get the first down? How did he not put it on the line for his team? Blah, blah, blah. If you listen to Cam Newton describe what messed his shoulder up, right? Everybody talks about the JJ Watt hit, but he actually talked about a very inconspicuous play that happened like a couple weeks before that hit even happened. So it was coming off his Super Bowl season. He didn't dive on the pile, right? He didn't dive for the fumble. And his thinking during that point in time was, I can't mess up my shoulder. I can't mess up my arm. I can't mess up anything like right there because like that's going to inhibit my team's ability to win. Got crushed for it. Following season, he throws a pick. Dude's returning the pick. He gets pushed off to the side and falls with his hand out and tears up his shoulder. And then gets hit by JJ a couple weeks later. And that derailed his career. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like he's trying to be out there, make a play, and you're wrong either way. You're wrong for not diving on the ball, but then your career goes wrong because you chase down a pick six. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to Tua, he in that situation, he'd have been wrong if he slid. He was wrong putting his head down. And when you're in that position, and that's the case, is that like just playing football is putting you in a position where like the lights are turned out. It might be time. It might
Yeah.
be time.
And that
Because just
is a
like
very real.
this is gonna sound cold and calculating and whatnot, but I'm just being completely real. The worst thing for the NFL as a business to happen is for someone to die on the football field.
Oh yeah, that changes. That hurts a lot. That's not good for no. That's not good for anyone.
No, that is the worst thing to happen to the NFL as a brand. The reason boxing isn't considered, a mainstream sport anymore, like we as Americans in the NFL with the amount of money that they plugged into it do a great job of ignoring bad veterans. Like we see guys on like FS1 and ESPN that have all their cognitive functions and abilities, and we think that life after football is glamorous. I never played in the collegiate level. My knees are shot. Knees are terrible. My shoulder's bad, right? I never played at the collegiate level. There are guys who played in the collegiate level who are working like desk jobs right now that can't sit all day. You know what I'm saying? The guys who played in the pros, there's a reason they get paid all that money. There's a reason that they fought to have life insurance or health insurance for the duration of their life once they played in the league for 3 years. You know, like the NFL does a great job pumping money into understanding that like we need to showcase the good qualities of life after football. But like there's a vast majority of ex-NFL players who have an extremely diminished standard of living, right? They don't show that a lot. They kind of just, sweep that under the rug. The reason boxing isn't mainstream is because too many people in the ring. And they don't want to keep showing that. That's why that's why boxing's behind a paywall. You understand? Like, and it's almost considered a fringe sport. It's a blood sport, right? Like,
yeah.
That happens on an NFL field. It tanks the NFL model. You understand me? Like the movie Concussion, like what that did to the league and the settlement they had to pay out based upon that movie, they ain't trying to see that from somebody going down on the field. All right. And that sounds like, oh, yeah, just pro business. I'm on my knees for Goodell. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Like if you love football, you don't want that to happen because they will end football.
Yeah. The game as you know it will not exist.
Yeah.
There's going to be mass change. It might be the flag football league from that point. There will be mass changes if something like that will happen. So just prayers to Tua and his family. Hope you can make the best decision for you, whatever that may be. Take your time with it. There's no rush. That's all we got for tonight, guys. Yeah.
Check us out. We will be going live after Falcons Eagles. Check us out on all our socials. We'll put it up where we'll be going live on YouTube, BOAF Media. Give our immediate reactions to the game, and then next week's pod will come out on Wednesday, and then but moving forward, pods on Tuesday and Friday. You guys, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Please on TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube, anything. Leave us comments and suggestions for City Talk, and if we pick you, we'll read out your name and make sure that we express it on the out here on the live, right? Or in the show. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. This has been your boy Q City.
Your boy Ty Bravado.
And we out.
Peace.
Like El Chapo, looking like I hit the lotto. I want a hottie like mulatto. I'm on here and she on Moscato. I'm in them good till tomorrow. I'm a robber for the Neros. Yo, little laws, I'ma put you on payroll. You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party here. Papa Corona, she moving her body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what she telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency. I wake up early every morning. Thank the Lord and get the bag. Hustle hard, get the cash. Stack first, then I'm showing my ass. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what she telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency.
My babies, that's who I grind for. That's who I do it for. Like the Navy, that's who I'm toting that iron for. Keep one in the head like a thought, nigga. Yeah, I fuck with Ty, he a boss, nigga. Put on their neck, I exhaust, nigga. Niggas cross me, so I cross niggas. Them stripper was lit last night. 500, what it cost, nigga. Shit was really legit last night. Had them hoes at the house, nigga. Instagram, Snapchat, Triller. What they say about Jay, he a go-getter. Used to have them fat sacks in the grove, nigga. Late nights, early morning, my dough, nigga.
You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party here. Papa Corona, she moving her body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what she telling me. Keep a 20